So let's talk about the COVID rule. And this example right here is part of, I feel like, my best proof. If I had to go into court and I had to prove that they were really Robyn's rules, the thing where the whole family got together out at the property with the 4 separate things, that would be my key proof. I would pull up footage and everything. So I do want to say this though about the COVID rules. I do think Cody thinks they're his rules. I think because he agrees with them, and he told the other wives, he felt like they should just get in line. And I do think that he believes that they're his rules. I do not think, though, that if he was in a vacuum without Robyn, those would have been the rules that he picked. In fact, knowing him, I have some very different feelings about what he would have done. But he thinks they're his rules. But let's look at the evidence. So when they all wanted to get together, he had to ask Robyn. And Robyn was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Unrelated to this, there was a thing about, well, Mary's following all the rules. Can Mary come over? And Robyn's like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. So she no to that. Now, I think Cody would have put down his foot, except guess what? He doesn't care about Mary. He doesn't want to see her. So he's like, you don't want to see her? Fine. But as far as he was concerned, she could come over. It was Robyn who said no. So they have this family thing. She's got all this problems. They have to have the 4 things. They have to separate. They have to be 6 feet apart, all of that. Go to the event. Watch. And if you want, I'll go pull up some footage to support my point. Watch Cody. He's within 6 feet of everyone. There's not a moment of hesitation on this man's hand. There's not a moment where you see him thinking, oh gosh, I'm really concerned about the safety of COVID. He's doing whatever. But what you see Robyn doing is running around the whole time, chasing the kids, telling them to keep it apart, having Mary come over and police things. And she's complaining about how Cody's not helping. I knew this would happen. This is blah, 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 blah. It was so clearly apparent that there's no innate fear. There's no innate concern. There's no innate caution. Now, this is not a judgment on people who were cautious. I have a sick elderly woman who lives with me, who I love dearly, and she would kill me if she heard me call her elderly or sickly. But, a good cold can take her down because she's got all this stuff. And if she starts getting sick, her whole body just goes crazy and all that. And then I had patient 0 in my house. That's my son who licks everything, sticks his nose up his hands. I mean, he is not that way anymore, but during COVID he was. So we were incredibly cautious. So this is not me being critical of anything. This is not the place for that. All I am arguing is that it was really clear that none of these rules came from genuine understanding genuine understanding or concern. They all came from Robyn being like, this is what needs to happen, and him being like, yeah, okay, sure, that's fine, because they're a married couple. That's what happens. And then his anger is not from the danger. It's from when he told his other wives, yeah, you have to shower and change your clothes every time you come in the house. And no one's allowed to leave the house but one person. And them going, yeah, that's not really what the CDC says. That's not really, I'm wearing a mask, I'm washing my hands. That seems sufficient. That's what the CDC says. And him going, how dare you disagree? Now, it could have been COVID. It could have been how they did the landscaping at Coyote Pass. It could have been how they did, say, a text thread for the gift exchange. It could have been anything that set it off. It was just... It was just that he's done with these women. And so when they disagreed with him on anything, I mean, it could have been Isabel's surgery. If it hadn't been the COVID excuse, it could have been the money excuse. It could have been, he tried to also use the scar will be ugly excuse, or she's just doing it because she's vain excuse. Something would have happened, small or big, or a bunch of little things that would have got them in the same place, because he doesn't love them anymore and he doesn't want to compromise. And marriage is all about compromise and caring about another person's opinion. And he only has the space for one person, and that's Robyn. And he's unwilling to admit it, and he's punishing everyone else because they exist.